Hey guys, hi, and wishing you a very good evening to you guys. And it's like I'm your host Damini, and it's like a very warm welcome back to welcome to you guys. Who are watching right now. And it's like the thing is that guys, I would really would like to greet you, with and very happy monsoon and very happy July, happy month of July. And it's like I was really out or rather I was really not available for a lot of time these days I was really I couldn't really opt for this videography guys, so that's why guys I couldn't really keep you guys entertained for some few days, let's say 10 days. Actually I was really ill guys, I was really had sort of fever, and that's the reason I couldn't really offer this particular videography. But today it's my warm and solemnatic pleasure, or it's my warm, it's my due pleasure, to welcome you guys, to have an solemnatically ceremonious invitation, or rather welcoming you to this particular channel of the factual promulgation of the historiography and the allied videography. So therefore, guys, I'm your host Chintamani, obviously, and it's like welcome back to this channel, and please stay subscribed. So, guys, the thing which I will be talking about today is that it's like as we already discussed, about this cities, like Mumbai city and Delhi city, about the concerns about these traffic, or the the limitations of a city, in pursuit of its infrastructure growth, or its urbanization or something. So what I exactly mean to say is, guys, as we have already talked about this, the congestion, which is really amounting, in the cities nowadays, like wherever you go, guys, even if you are from agglomeration Delhi or agglomeration Chennai or wherever you are from, but you might notice that, guys, there is a great urban sprawl, which we all are experiencing, or rather witnessing, into the Indian agglomerations. And therefore, the thing is that, guys, you might have, really, will have, you would have really faced this great congestion, which really occurs, where you when you go out, for just for the purpose of shopping, or just for a random troll, or just to meet a friend of yours, or wherever you go. Guys, the thing is that there are buildings everywhere. There are all sort of there is all sort of vehicular congestion over everywhere. Onto every city squares, every cross-town junctions, or every boulevard intersections, or every public spaces and all. So therefore, guys, you don't really have to, you don't really feel that sense of goodness, or that sense of euphoric enjoyment, when you go out in the city. And therefore, guys, it's just to counter and tackle these problems, it's like I would like to, introduce you, or to would like to, make a great welcome gesture to this particular brief introduction of this topic, and which goes by the name of reducing the degree of congestion, by actually, building lesser, but opting for a reclamation of the land. So therefore, guys, what I exactly need to say into this particular topic, which to promulgate, is that, guys, because of all this sort of urban sprawls, or all this sort of congestions, which we are seeing every day, in agglomeration Mumbai, or in agglomeration Kolkata, or agglomeration Delhi, or wherever you're from. It's like, guys, the thing is that, there's vehicles and all, which travel, or whenever you go out, that congestion, which you can see, is basically a resultant of sort of weak, or sort of inefficient town planning, which was made. And it's like, guys, it shouldn't have been, but it has been now. And since 1970s, or from before that span, or even from the 90s period, or the growth, or the boom period, which we call as the period, or the decade, those 2 decades, which were basically the 80s and the 90s. So in that span, guys, a lot of urbanizations, really took place, and which really resulted into, sort of congestion in the cities, because all the civil engineers, or the infrastructure developers, were actually not controlled under any, governmental organization or under any statutory governing body or any sort of an you know republican, or rather what we call any sort of a centralized administration. And therefore, guys, it resulted into many of the infrastructure developers or civil engineers or builders or real estate marketers, or what we call venture marketers or something. It really resulted into all these people coming and building land. How they thought was good. But in reality, guys, taking into consideration the current urban congestion and the urban sprawl, it isn't really that efficient, guys, in these days. Because, guys, all these buildings, whichever you see in, especially in agglomeration Mumbai, like, no offense to anyone, even I am a decent resident of agglomeration Mumbai, but it's like, guys, you have already, obviously noticed or witnessed this congestion, or what we call this lack of space, or this dirt paucity, or this scantiness, in pursuit of the geographic space, or the geographic degree of freedom, which is absent, here in Mumbai. So, guys, in order to tackle that, what I would like to say is that, or what I need to say is that, guys, these all neighborhoods, would would really would have been good, if they would have really been planned out of and sort of a great committee, which was responsible for efficient town planning or better infrastructure development, or sort of sort of stimulation of this particular what we call symmetrical layout, when it comes about the cities, like in graphical diagram, or like in tabular column, or like the gratitude and the what we call like the longitude and latitude, as we have on the earth, which are basically the horizontal and vertical lines. So therefore, guys, if in that manner, in that graphical manner, in that graphical form, if the cities, would have been planned in that manner, having in sort of a symmetrical arrangement or symmetrical design or pattern, then, guys, the cities, would really, would have had, better accommodation roads, or ample amount of spaces, for public, or such as to what we call control, or rather inspect, or rather administrate the traffic. So, guys, now when the cities or when the towns are not actually being planned or institutionalized with this policy, therefore we are really facing these problems. And therefore, guys, being a student, or being a decent of agglomeration Mumbai, what I would mean to say or put forth to you guys, whomsoever, who with respect to you guys, who are watching this channel or this video now, is that, guys, nowadays, there is really an cardinal exigency of and better town planning, committee, or and sort of a group of civil engineers, or in sort of a consortium, of infrastructure developers, which would actually, go out and will opt for better planning of the town, or better city layout or something. So therefore, when that's not happening at the moment, what I would like to do is, I would like to, stand, or having sort of stand up for our country and our nation, for our people, or our region of agglomeration Mumbai, or basically India, such as to opt for the facilitation, or the such as to opt for the facilitation and cultivation of this motion of confidence, or this motion of cognizance, or creation or the realization of this sort of awareness, in the public domain, such as to opt for the people to know it, and for the people to basically realize it. And so therefore, guys, that was this thing partially about. But, guys, given for the fact, that even after creation of this awareness and all, what I would like to, truly haven't would like to resolute or would like to explicate about is that, guys, this town planning, which is already done, or the cities, which are already planned, let's say the Mumbai agglomeration, Mumbai or agglomeration Delhi, or even for that matter, even for that matter, some cities from the northern India, apart from Gurugram, Gurugram, which is a great city, which is really, which is really well developed and well planned, even when it comes about Noida, it's really well planned. But guys, when it comes about agglomeration Mumbai, or agglomeration Delhi, or even for that matter Kolkata, agglomeration Kolkata, guys, basically, these are the cities, which are really lacking, that efficient town planning or efficient city layout. And therefore, guys, in the areas, which have already been constructed or which are already being inhabited by the people, there, you might think that there is really a minimalistic degree to it. That there is really a minimalistic degree, uh, in the set, in the set for what we can achieve. But actually, we need to prove it. We need to prove otherwise, because the thing is that, guys, even for the cities, which are already, which are already built or developed, or rather, widespread, or rather modernized, or rather, you know, uh, expanded or something, it isn't really like that. That in those cities, town planning or infrastructure development, or some sort of better improvisations aren't possible. No, guys. But the real point is that, guys, in those cities, which are already being built, or something, in those cities, basically, this town planning, can still be institutionalized. But guys, in order to actually, cultivate that thing, or in order to actually bring it into action, what I would like to say is that these all areas, if you really refer to the map, or in a professional discipline of cartography or something, you will realize that these cities, are just lacking some few elements, and which are basically narrow. They really have a lot of narrow streets, and and sort of what I would call a pseudopodia like structure, in their layout or in their planning, which results into, lack of coplanarity or lack of collinearity, when it comes about the ways or roads. So therefore, guys, in order to tackle this, all these towns, should really think about, what we call the better pedestrian access ways, on the street, and all the buildings, or all the construction, which has already been done, but which is sort of mutilated, or which is sort of dilapidated, over the years, due to cross inclusions, or due to an act of ruination, by the natural calamities or something, whatever it is. So these all structures, guys, should sort of, would have to be not exactly undermined, but sort of shifted, like obviously, you might know this particular artifice of, shifting the entire building, guys, shifting the entire building, or entire house, or entire construction, or entire, what we call makeup, so which is basically defined as house lifting or something, in the civil engineering terminology. And guys, as I go on to expound it, that particular thing, might seem, out of the degree of feasibility at the moment, in India. But guys, the thing is that that particular thing, should be more researched upon, because the thing is that actually the house lifting, which used to be practiced, in the United States, or even in Europe, or in Britain, and and great reference to it is and great reference to this particular conceptualization is that if you guys, would have seen that particular program, which used to air on the National Geographic channel, and which was tagged as the house lifters. So guys, that was not the only inspiration for this particular project, but it's like, guys, that was literally dissemination of this particular concept, into the public domain, and which was done, years ago on the television. So guys, years ago, in my childhood or something, I used to really, watch those things. Over the television, such as the National Geographic Channel and all. But it's like, guys, as I grew older, in my boyhood at all, I really witnessed or rather experienced all those problems, which have been faced, by our citizens or our people. And it's like I don't really have any sort of a demarcation, to all to the people, because obviously, guys, when we speak of our nationality as Indians, we should even mean all humans, because guys, when it comes about and sort of an definition of a nationality of something, nationality or something, in the just in the regime of that country, then it strictly means to Indians. But guys, thinking of it from the humanitarian perspective, it really means humans. So guys, I'm repeatedly saying that, guys, everyone is really welcome here, and it's like, no matter if you're Spanish, no matter if you're Latin, if you're Japanese, if you're British, if you're American, you're Italian, you're Asian, or you're Russian, whatever it is, you all are welcome to this series or this channel. And it's like, obviously, at the end of the day, we all are humans. We are not different from you, or you are not different from us. So therefore, guys, what I would like to make it up, the thing, which I would like to make it up is that, guys, that particular house lifting, was really one of its kind, back in the good old days. And the reason, why I brought it out today is that, because the thing is that, guys, all the structures, all these buildings, or these mega structures, which are already constructed or something, in our agglomeration Mumbai, or agglomeration Kolkata, or agglomeration Chennai, or Delhi, whatever it is. It's like, guys, people really have a great sense of nostalgia, or in sort of a prolific degree of attachment, to all their properties, or all their possessions, or what we call as buildings, or these houses. So therefore, guys, that solution, in a sort of a perfunctory manner, which I'm stating, is that, guys, it's like, these all things, should be assessed, in a sort of a techno-scientific modus operandi, and which is basically about a facilitation of this particular conceptualization of house lifting. So, guys, you might think that, that this particular videograph is really, all in one, or it's really heterogeneous. But guys, that's not the case. It's like, in order to explicate this things, all these things, will or should have to go hand in hand, and therefore I explicated even the house lifting process, and even about the what we call town planning and infrastructure development, and even this what we call realization of better geographic spread in the cities. And therefore, guys, what I would like to say is that this particular concept of this house lifting, as it's practiced in Europe or United States, is sort of loosely explicated over here. It's just to offer an sort of a hypothesization, or sort of a delineation, about this particular topic, is really gonna consume a lot of time. So that, for that matter, guys, I would like to conclude with this. And guys, please remember that, guys, this house lifting, as simple as it seems, or as simple as it sounds, it isn't really as simple, or it isn't really as what we call worth undermining, as it seems. So, guys, in the next sessions, I will really, offer an explication of this particular terminologies, or of this conceptualizations of the house lifting, or this providence, or about the providence of the often solution, to the the problems, which are faced by us, in regards of the lack of the space, or lack of the geographic widespread in our nation India. So that's what I wanted to make it out, and I wanted to bring it up to you. And that's what, guys, being Indians, it's our responsibility, to stand for our causes, or to stand for our missions, or to stand up for ourselves and for our nation and for our country. And therefore, guys, what I would um, would add, before concluding, is that as it's our responsibility, we should come forward, for all these things. And being youth, when we have a great bright life ahead, or a great prosperous future ahead, we should truly, try to invest our time, into solving of all these problems, or providence of a solution, or providence of an sort of an betterment facilitating change, for our country, India, and even to all the other global problems. But guys, today, the essence of today's topic was basically, was was it can be called as the sort of an epicenter for the topic. It can be defined as the epicenter for the house lifting and infrastructure development, and basically house lifting, to clear the space to make the town look more good, or make the town more convenient. So that was my cardinal intent, in making this video graph. And again, guys, I really wish you good luck, and will will truly, come back to you guys, with a lot of entertaining stuff. And so have a really great time, and please not click to I'm sorry, I don't know, why I'm sounding so dramatic today. Probably it's the result of a lot of stress or something, I'm facing, whatever it is. So guys, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like it. Please like it, and please turn on the please turn on the updates, such that you won't miss any of this factual promulgation, or any of this videographs, which I'm disseminating. And with that, I want to conclude, and I would like to say, be safe, stay safe, and be happy, guys. And let's make it great, or let's make it big, when it comes about our country. And so, Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and Om Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ki Jai. So I'll conclude, and we'll get back, guys. Bye bye. See you. Bye.